Maya had always lived her life in a constant race against time, waking up early, preparing breakfast, dropping her son Ayan at school, working long hours, and returning home late every night. As a single mom, she had learned to be strong, even when life made her feel completely alone. But this evening was different. The sky was turning orange, and she was finally driving home after a tiring double shift. Her old silver hatchback, however, had other plans. The car began to shake. The engine coughed once, twice, and then suddenly died in the middle of a quiet road outside the city. Maya's heart sank. She held the steering wheel tightly, her mind already overflowing with worry. She tried to restart the engine, but the car didn't make a sound. In the back seat, 7-year-old Ayan whispered, "Mama, are we stuck?" Maya forced a smile for her son. "It's okay, baby. We'll figure it out." But inside she was panicking. She didn't have extra money for a tow truck or a mechanic. Her salary barely covered rent, groceries, and school fees. This breakdown could become a disaster. She stepped out of the car and looked around. The road was nearly empty, and the sun was disappearing quickly. Maya rubbed her forehead, wondering what to do next. Then she heard the steady sound of an approaching motorbike. A man wearing a brown jacket and a tool bag slung across his back slowed down as he got closer. He stopped beside her car and removed his helmet. His face was kind, with tired but gentle eyes. "You need help?" he asked, his voice calm and polite. Maya hesitated. She didn't know him, and being stranded with her child made her even more cautious. But she nodded. "My car had just died. I don't know what's wrong." The man smiled reassuringly. "My name is Arman. I'm a mechanic. Let me take a look." He set his tool bag on the ground and opened the car's hood. Steam hissed out and Maya stepped back in worry. "Don't worry," Arman said. "Just a little overheated." He checked the engine carefully, touching wires, tightening bolts, inspecting the fan belt. Ayan leaned out the window, watching him with wide, curious eyes. "Are you fixing our car?" Ayan asked. Arman looked at him and grinned. "Trying my best, champ." Maya watched the interaction quietly. There was something comforting about Arman's presence, something honest. He didn't seem annoyed or rushed. He worked with patience, explaining small things to Maya so she wouldn't feel clueless. "This hose is cracked," he told her. "It's leaking coolant. That's why the engine overheated." Maya felt her stomach twist. How much will it cost?" Arman shook his head. "Don't worry about that right now. I'll patch it up so you can get home safely. You can bring the car to my workshop later if you want a proper replacement." Maya looked down, embarrassed. "I don't really have money at the moment." Arman stopped her. "Hey, you're driving with your kid. Anyone in my place would stop to help." Wasn't used to kindness. Most people judged her for being a single mom. But Arman spoke without hesitation, without expectation. For almost an hour he worked under the fading light, his hands covered in grease, his shirt getting dirty as he leaned into the engine. He didn't complain, didn't ask for anything, and didn't act like he was doing her a favor. He just genuinely wanted to help. Finally, Arman closed the hood and wiped his hands. "Try starting it now," he said. Maya sat in the driver's seat, turned the key, and to her relief, the engine roared back to life. She closed her eyes, whispering, "Thank God." When she stepped out, she didn't know how to express her gratitude. "Thank you so much. I don't know what I would have done without your help." Arman shrugged lightly. "It's no big deal." Ayan climbed out and stood beside his mother. He looked up at Arman with bright eyes and asked, "Are you a superhero?" Arman laughed warmly. "Not even close. I'm just a mechanic." But for Maya, he was exactly the kind of hero she and her son needed. She cleared her throat. "At least, let me buy you tea. You've helped us more than you know." Arman hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "Tea sounds nice." They walked to a small roadside stall nearby. Maya noticed how Arman talked gently to Ayan, answering his endless questions with patience. He didn't treat Maya like a burden. He treated her with respect, something she hadn't felt in a long time. As they drank tea, Maya found herself talking more than she expected, about work, about struggles, about her son. Arman listened sincerely, without pity or judgment. When they finally said goodbye, Arman said, "Bring the car to my workshop tomorrow. I'll fix it properly, and don't worry about the cost. We'll figure something out." For the first time in months, Maya felt a strange warmth in her heart, a feeling that maybe, just maybe, life was about to change. The next morning, Maya drove to Armin's workshop, as he had suggested. She felt a little nervous. She wasn't used to relying on anyone, let alone a stranger. But something about Armin made her trust him without fear. Ayan was excited too, more excited than Maya had seen him in months. As soon as they arrived, the little boy hopped out of the car and ran toward Armin. "You came," Armin said with a smile as he bent down and high-fived Ayan. Maya walked slowly toward them, her heart strangely warm at seeing their interaction. "You said to bring it today," she said shyly. "And I meant it," Armin replied. "Let's get this car healthy again." While Armin worked, Maya and Ayan sat nearby. The workshop wasn't fancy, it was small, with 2 cars inside and the smell of engine oil in the air, but it felt comfortable. Every now and then, Armin explained what he was fixing, making sure Maya understood everything. He wasn't showing off. He simply wanted her to feel in control. After 2 hours, he closed the hood again. "Your car is good as new," he said proudly. Maya couldn't stop smiling. "Thank you. Again. I really can't repay you." "You don't need to," Armin replied softly. But this was only the beginning. Over the coming weeks, their lives slowly intertwined in ways none of them had expected. Whenever Maya had car trouble, even the smallest noise, she would visit Armin, and even when she didn't, she sometimes dropped by with Ayan just to say hello. Armin always welcomed them with a smile. Sometimes he gave Ayan small mechanical tasks, letting him tighten a bolt or hand over tools, making the boy feel important. Ayan started talking about Armin at home too. "Mama, Armin teaches me everything. Mama, Armin is so smart. Mama, can we go see Armin again?" Maya couldn't deny the happiness she felt when she heard her son so cheerful. She had raised Ayan alone ever since his father walked out on them years ago. She had built her life around protecting her son, keeping him safe from disappointment. But Armin, he brought a light back into their world, slowly, gently, without forcing himself into their lives. One Saturday evening, as the sky glowed purple, Armin finished fixing a small issue in her car and casually said, "You two eaten dinner yet?" Maya shook her head. "Not really. I was going to cook something later." Armin hesitated, then said, "If you don't mind, I'd like to join you, or you both can join me. Whatever feels comfortable." Maya felt her cheeks warm, but she nodded. That evening turned into something much more meaningful than any of them expected. At Maya's small apartment, Armin sat with Ayan on the carpet, helping him build a toy car. Maya cooked simple food, rice, chicken, and vegetables, but she felt strangely nervous, like she was preparing a meal for someone important. When they ate together, the room felt different, fuller, warmer, a family-like warmth Maya hadn't felt in years. After dinner, Ayan climbed into Armin's lap without hesitation. He leaned his head on the mechanic's chest and said softly, "I like you." Armin's eyes softened. "I like you too, champ." Maya watched silently, her heart filling with something she hadn't allowed herself to feel in a long time. Hope. When it was time for Armin to leave, Ayan surprised everyone. He held Armin's hand tightly and asked in a small voice, "Can you stay longer, or can you be my dad someday?" Maya froze. Her breath caught in her throat. She never expected her son to say that. She looked at Armin, afraid of what his reaction might be. Armin knelt down to Ayan's level. "Hey, that's a big question, but I would never want to make a promise I couldn't keep." Ayan nodded, disappointed. But then Armin looked at Maya, really looked at her. His voice became gentle. "Maya, can I talk to you for a moment?" She nodded and stepped outside with him. The night was cool, and the street was quiet. Armin took a deep breath. "Maya, I don't want to overstep, but your son means a lot to me. And you mean even more. I never planned any of this. I just wanted to help that night on the road. But now, I don't want to imagine my days without you two." Maya felt tears filling her eyes. She had been afraid to trust again, afraid to open her heart after all the betrayal she had faced. But Armin was different. His kindness wasn't loud. It was steady, patient, and real. She swallowed and said softly, "Armin, I want to ask you something too. Something important." He looked at her, waiting. Her voice trembled as she spoke. You've done more for us than anyone. You've been there for Ayan, you've been there for me, and you've never expected anything in return. So, I want to ask you." Arman stepped closer, breath held. "Do you want to be my son's father?" she finally asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Arman's eyes glistened. The answer wasn't a thought. It came straight from his heart. "Yes," he said. "More than anything, I want to be part of your family." Maya covered her mouth as tears escaped. Arman gently pulled her into a hug. Not rushed, not urgent, just warm and safe. A minute later, Ajan ran outside and wrapped his small arms around them both. Under the soft evening light, the three of them held each other tightly, a single mom, a mechanic and a little boy, forming a family not by blood, but by love, trust, and the kindness that began on a lonely road. And from that night on, none of their lives were ever the same again.